Welcome everybody. I am going to record this awesome session we're going to have this evening. I have beautiful and talented Jamie Ricketts with me here tonight.
Hello.
We connected back in school with Donna Eden. And then since then have been just following our hearts, connecting in with our spirits to journey with our purpose of serving people, helping them find their light to shine and feel strong in today's world and for the next life and the next life.
Absolutely.
And tonight we're going to kick it off with must-dos for 2022. We have our autumn leaves in the background. The fire is burning with us tonight as we start to share about ways in which really to uplift yourself, uplift your home, clearing the energy in your home, creating it to be a sacred space. Part of why we're calling it a must-dos for 2022 is we feel a lot more now, right? The term empathic is pretty well known, which means that we feel the energy of other people. A lot more of us are very sensitive. You can be walking in a store and just see somebody and know that they're angry. I think we all can do that now. And so starting to take it one step further into assessing how you feel in your house, right? So in the post, I listed different bullet points of reasons why you might want to consider clearing your house. You can't sleep, stuck energy, trauma. We'll keep unpacking it tonight. And again, I'd like to just introduce Jamie here, where I brought her on because she is an expert in this field. She is an energy facilitator, as I mentioned, a practitioner, and is becoming a master in elemental clearing. Designer. She is the owner of the store, the Luscious Lotus Store, where she has created artifacts, beautiful jewelry. I'm wearing it. I'm definitely one of her clients. To support you, me, again, to create sacred space in our home, how we do that, and to just, bring more groundedness really to my day-to-day also. So let's get it started by maybe just talking a little bit about yourself, what it means to do elemental clearing.
Wonderful. Thank you, Della, for having me on today. This is really exciting. I don't really get to go live very often, so this is a really great honor to be with you today. So thank you. So I am an Eden Energy clinical practitioner, certified practitioner. And before that, though, I was on a journey because I was born highly sensitive. And I went the normal traditional route that most people take in life. You know, you grow up, you go to college or schooling, and then you get married or find somebody and you do your career. And then sometimes there's a thing that happens in your life that triggers you. And I had one of those moments where, I became sick and I had to walk away, and finding that space with the energy community was something that just opened me up wide, and meeting you was wonderful, and lifelong friendships were developed. And so I'm really grateful. And in finding these things that not only energetically do we find ourselves in a space where we're being challenged because of the solar flares and other things, electromagnetic fields, our phones, 5G, we're just being bombarded more and more. And so I had to find out ways of protecting my sensitive fields. And I found out I had lots of rips and tears in my auras, as well as other things. And so when I was able to start moving through those pieces and building a stronger aura, I started then building a bigger toolkit for other things. For instance, when you walk into a home and there's sadness or there's been financial issues or the things like that, that energy tends to stick and stays in our thought forms. And so really what we want to do is we want to be able to transmute and transform those stagnant energies into something that we want to do and we want to fulfill. We have this ability. And yeah, it's not always easy. There's going to be obstacles, but then we're being mindful of how powerful and sovereign we are as people in bringing these things to us, and how to protect our space. I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit
No,
here.
you're doing great. That's beautiful. I love, just to touch on a couple things that you said. One, I love that you said transmute and transform the stagnant energy.
Yes.
I think that's really strong in the way in which you assess what needs to be corrected. Also just reiterating how powerful we are, that we can easily make this shift.
Absolutely.
Transmute and transform, that we're all alchemists. And we'll follow that road. But I do want to also just mention how you talked about the external influences for ourselves, how you mentioned that you learn at an early age that you're very sensitive, empathic, can pick up a lot of energy, which now does include like electromagnetic frequencies. We have our 5G, we have our phone, we have, again, we talked about the feelings and thoughts. And so that's a whole nother talk that we should have about ways to keep you strong in your external environment, because there is a lot of crap in out on earth now, right? I had to go live in the mountains to try to clear my energy and to resonate more with the frequencies of nature, because it was a lot for me to handle and I couldn't really handle that in my field anymore.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, for all of our city slickers out there, that's a great topic that we should.
Yeah, grounding is so important for us. And, if you don't have the forest, like I like to go up north to where there's the negative ions and the pine trees. I really feel when there's the thunderstorms and that buzzing in the air, the electrical charge, it really does help clear your aura. So be able to go to those places if you can, but if you can't, even having the spoon here, you can spoon your feet, and that will work with the electromagnetic part of your, let's try of your foot. This is the sole of my foot, we'll pretend.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're realigning the blood and the iron and everything so that you can connect to the ground. And some people are more sensitive, they can feel it immediately. Some people just go, oh, I feel like I'm in a better mood. I'm feeling more clear-minded. So being mindful of those things is a great way to start. Now, protecting your space, and you could first off, you want to do a clearing. Perhaps a lot of us know about incense. You can burn these little incense there you go. These little incense here, or you can use sage. The thing with sage is you want to make sure that you're away from smoke alarms, and if you're using an abalone shell, you're going to want to use sand on the bottom of it, because the heat will actually make it toxic. So just make sure you have sand in there. And then, so when you're smudging, you want to use intent. It's kind of like a calling card to the universe in some way. Now, sage is really about centering and really can help clear dense energies, but it really brings in like ancestral spirits as well. And so when you're burning sage, you want to be able to be clear on what you're bringing in and your intention.
I agree. Because
you could be just bringing in anything. And because I am sensitive, and because my husband is sensitive to energies, a lot of non-physical forms will come to our house. And sometimes I'll see it as a gray ball. Sometimes it's very small, sometimes it's really large. And so, and I could tell that at those times, like I'll say, hey, hubby, I just saw something. And he's like, yeah, I have this weird ringing in my ear. And I'm like, okay, let's go sage, or let's, burn some incense. Another thing you can do too is you don't have to.
Try holding it back.
Hold it back right there. There we go. Right on me. Okay, thank you. You can use this spray sage, so it doesn't set off alarms. So
really, a couple of things you said one for new sagers, you can get little ones, and also really big ones. Yeah. And with sage, a lot of us have heard about smudging with sage, and I think what's really important to add to your smudging rituals with sage is that it's really important to call in the energy that you want. Yeah. Oftentimes the people that burn sage, let's burn a little. They just say negative spirits go away, but then they don't bring in any new energy. And smudging with sage is all about clearing and pulling in.
And holding that space.
And then you can, hold it down. And just, I personally like to go to the corners of each room. Mm-hmm. And then I always like when it smokes because it means that I need it.
And don't forget the soles of your feet as well.
Okay.
When you're saging.
Crack a window because I had a smoke alarm go off earlier.
So cracking a window also helps keep the smoke alarms from going off, but actually lets the energy have a place to go. You
always should crack a window. Yes. And then again, just to reiterate, if you don't like smoke in your house, there are sprays you can get.
Absolutely.
And we have sage sprays. I recently even just went into my garden and cut rosemary and lavender, which are also really great herbs to bringing in charged energy. Like Jamie mentioned, as a bright light as well, I can have negative energies, personalities come to my home. And so along with watering the plants once a week, I am clearing the house once a week.
That's wonderful.
And as well as, working towards cultivating and bringing a powerful force to my home to serve the Christ consciousness grid, these light grids that we have that are supporting the earth right now to ascend, to bring more love force to the earth. I would love to hear your thoughts about that, about
being present. I think that has been a really big challenge for a lot of people because there is a lot of things shaking up. And as being warriors of light, we're learning about our sovereignty right now and embracing that it kind of activates others to do the same in their own time. And I think it's important right now that we share as much as we can with each other in that sovereign space and in that presence I am, because there is so much emotion, so much anxiety, so much fear that you don't realize how much you're feeding into those fears until illness comes about, or stress related illnesses, or how you relate to others. And we really have to be present and compassionate, really, in this time, because it is, everybody can judge where someone is at, but honestly, we all started somewhere. Whether we started when we were young or we're just coming into it, we want to be able to help those that are just waking up. And it is pretty intense time, I'm slow and steady. I've been for many years, and I feel like I haven't learned anything. But honestly, when you step back, you're like, oh my gosh, I do have wisdom I can share with others. And being present.
I think it's beautiful too that we've come in tonight to talk about clearing and charging a home, and we've come into talking about our own home, our temple, bringing that presence to ourselves and all in which we're feeling, and with that compassion, with connecting with others. And also even deeper, I think, coming into the power of ourselves, that sovereignty you mentioned at the start of our talk, to take charge and say, I am feeling somebody else's energy. And I don't care if anybody else that's in my community thinks I'm a wacko or
Right.
crazy. I own what I feel because I know it. And coming into that ownership and then starting to learn those tools, even for crystal shopping, if you're new, going to a crystal shop and just picking one up that you like and acknowledging that you feel something when you hold it versus shutting it down, that you're not good enough to feel any energy per se. That acknowledging the power that you have to
Claim your space and
claim your
yeah,
space. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, gosh, we just got it started.
I know. Feels like I'm just warming up here and we're almost
Right
ending.
next to the fire.
Is there, do we have enough time that I can do a space clearing meditation that was provided by ESETI James Gillihan?
I would
And
love that.
okay,
Absolutely.
wonderful.
That's
So
great. Yeah.
this is to be used like when you do notice that if you don't like a feeling, do a clearing. If you don't like what you're feeling, do a clearing is what he says. And so this is I'm just going to read it off here because I haven't had it memorized, but this is really good. And when you're wanting to clear your energy field, and you want to start with that intention and that prayer, and here's an affirmation. I welcome my guides and my higher self. I ask that any cords, attachments, implants, parasitic thought forms, anything that is not in alignment with the light or with our awakening and healing process for humanity and in our fields and in our environment, I ask that they be escorted to its perfect place to dissolve and go where it needs to in peace. We ask for the healing energies to step forward to heal on a physical and non-physical level. We ask for a blessing with Gaia, original spirits, elementals awakening and supporting the light at this time. I ask that we be protected and share with me anything that will help in this process.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a beautiful prayer. Do you want to read it one more time?
Sure, absolutely.
And then just read it a little bit slower so we can follow along a little closer.
Okay.
And what we'll do too is we'll make it so it's its own clip too.
Okay.
Okay, good. So I'm going to talk like it's a new clip in just a second. Okay. Okay. So here is a prayer for clearing and charging your space. Again, energy facilitator, practitioner, elemental clearing expert, Jamie Ricketts. So go ahead and let's all come to sitting, finding our breath.
And this was borrowed from James.
Please guide us through. Yeah.
Thank you. I welcome my guides and my higher self. I ask that any cords, attachments, implants, parasitic thought forms, anything that is not in alignment with the light or with our awakening and healing process for humanity and in our fields and in our environment, and I ask them that they be escorted to its perfect place to dissolve and go where it needs to. We ask for the healing energies to step forward to heal on a physical and non-physical level. We ask for a blessing with Gaia, original spirits, elementals awakening and supporting the light at this time. I ask that we be protected and share with me anything that will help in this process. So it is.
Namaste. Ooh, I love that prayer. I feel very good. It gets deeper each time you hear it too. I'm glad you went through it twice. It's really nice.
Thank you. Yeah.
Warms up my heart. Feel all cozy.
The warm fuzzies.
Yeah.
Little radiant circuits happening there.
Right. It was like the triple warmer or middle burner, which is good for me. Like that solar plexus work for sure. Finding that power.
Absolutely.
Well, sis, we'll definitely keep doing this. right? Tonight we kind of covered just the bases, right? Being in that flow with sharing beautiful tools on the must-dos for 2022. Awesome. So we'll probably do this again in another month. For everybody watching, thank you for watching this live. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments section. I highly recommend to check out the Luscious Lotus Store. I love the energy and the designs that Jamie brings through. I got this bracelet, Volcanic Rock, Shungite, the Evil Eye,
Oh yeah.
easily over a year ago, and I wear all the time. These stones in particular help me feel grounded, help me be present, which is very important. I just was gifted the dragon head, the dragon stone.
Drifting buddy.
Yeah, she designed, Jamie designed this. Whew, I get stopped on the street about it. People are seeing my dragon wings, that's for sure. So yeah,
Great. Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
It's really great to be working with you again, and I really can't wait to do this again with you.
Can't wait. No,
All right.
until next time.
Yep. Until